could do nothing but simply jump into the water. Well, when word came back to Marie's father about this prince now made fish, well, he was oh so pleased. He let his guard down and allowed his daughter to grieve in peace. Well, Marie sure was turned off by this prince now made fish, but love is love. And love compelled her to one day wander from her house, mourning her lost love, wander through the woods and through the field and back to the river. And when she got to the river, she sat down, and this song welled out of her. Kaliwa, kaliwa ko, wawa mama said no. Kaliwa, kaliwa ko, wawa papa said no, no. And as the last notes left her mouth, the water began to bubble. The water began to churn. And the water, like a great curtain, raised up before Marie. And from the curtain, behind the curtain, came out this great red fish with the crown atop his head. And in his fin, there was a mesh bag with fruit and nuts. Well, Marie, it was a fish, yes, but she could see through the fish's eyes that this was her love. Oh, it didn't matter what you look like, you are my love. And so they shared the fruit and the nuts. They couldn't really speak, but they could exchange meaningful glances. And Marie had her love again. And so, for days, she continued to sneak out of the house and through the wood and through the meadow and to the river, and she'd sing her song, Kaliwa, kaliwa ko. And as the song faded, the water would churn and her prince would come and all was well. But Papa got wise. Why was his daughter so happy all of a sudden? And so he decided to follow her one day. And as you can imagine, he was utterly horrified when he saw that his daughter was now in love with a fish, cooing at a fish. Well, he didn't have to think twice. He marched himself back to his home. He grabbed his gun, walked back down to the river, and shot the fish twice. The fish plummeted into the water, dead. Now go and get that fish, he said. Bring it home. We're having fish for supper. Well, the man had a gun, so Marie was going to obey. The story doesn't give details as to how she got this gigantic fish out of the water, but somehow she does. And as she is carrying this great fish, her love, this red fish with the crown atop his head, she is this sad funeral dirge, one-woman funeral dirge, walking towards her home. And as she's weeping upon this fish, the fish begins to sing. And the fish sings, cut me up if you must, wah wah. Scrape me out if you have to. Mix up my crumbs and salt them. Do what you have to do. Oh, my love, Marie cried. I don't want to, but I must. And so she took her love, this dead red fish with a crown, and she cut him up, mixed up the crumbs, salted them, and served them to her father. And her father ate and ate and ate. He was determined to finish every last morsel of flesh of this damned fish. And he ate and he ate and he ate until his body had expanded to encompass this great big fish, had expanded so wide that he popped. And 10,000 wee little red fish swam from his body, wriggled down through the house and through the wood and through the meadow and jumped into the river. Marie is in utter shock. She, like a zombie, can't see, can't think, can't feel, doesn't know what is going on, and she follows this parade of baby fish down to the river, and she watches them all cascade into the water, and she weeps, and she weeps, and she can't stop, and she weeps for hours at a time, and she weeps for days, maybe weeks, maybe even years past her frozen in this spot, weeping. And her tears are so much and so forceful that they create a hole in the ground. She cries a hole into the ground, and she falls into it. And she is lost in there. But somehow, there the fish prince is too. And there, they recognize each other. And you can choose in your own imagination whether he is now a man or is now a fish. That's left for us to decide. But there in this hole created by her tears, they are reunited. Well, Mama, who has been absent this whole story long, sees that her daughter is missing, sees that her husband has exploded, and goes in search of her daughter. And when she herself wanders through the wood and across the meadow and to the river, she finds a lock of hair over the spot where Marie had fallen down into the ground. She places her ear to the ground, and there she hears, "Kaliwa, Kaliwako, my love is here, don't you know?" And that is the tale of Marie and the red fish. It's a funny one, eh? So, that story bears some resemblance to the story I told at the Storytellers of Canada conference that happened in Vancouver this past July, where I met, or at least saw, a few of you that I recognize. And the story I told then was about a young girl named Marybelle. This one was Marie, that one was Marybelle. And in Marybelle's story, I won't tell you the story, but basically there's a mermaid that emerges from the water, and she's this glorious thing, and Marybelle comes every day to be with this mermaid. And in the Marybelle story, the song she sings to summon the mermaid is the one that goes, and perhaps you know it, "Wade in the water," thank you, "Wade in the water, children, wade in the water, God's gonna trouble the water." Very good. And that's what I want to sing with you to close this first section of storytelling. So, you'll catch on. I sing a verse, and I sing a line, and then your response to me is, "God's gonna trouble the water." But I hear you folks are singers, so it's not gonna be a problem. And I'm gonna change the key a bit. "Who are those children dressed in red? God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. The enemy's great, but my captain's strong. God's gonna trouble the water. I'm headed for the city and the road ain't long. God's gonna trouble the water.